Hello friends, I am hoping that this is going to work. I tried to go on and do it where I could share my PowerPoint with you guys so you would have all of the tools to be able to continue telling people all this information. I couldn't make it work, so we're starting a couple of minutes late, but you know, it is what it is. I am here. I am glad that you are here, and I am going to start by oiling up because that's just how I do the thing. So I'm starting with clarity first. If you do not have clarity, grab yourself some peppermint. If you don't have any oils, you need to get with whoever sent you this video so you can get yourself some oils. So I'm taking my clarity, spinning it around, breathing it in. This is amazing. I love my clarity. I use it like all the time. Pretty much every time you hear me talk, you're going to see me using that one. And then this is my new addiction. Oh my gosh. The Legacy 30. Oh, it is so good. I've always been a fan of our Valor, but oh my goodness, this with the Magnify Your Purpose and the Shutron, it's amazing. I love it. It's so good. Okay, so I'm not going to sit and chit chat a whole lot here in the beginning because I have so much information I want to get through to you guys. I am so excited. This morning when I stepped on the scale, I am now down. I want to make sure I have it exactly. So today I weighed 240 exactly. That is a starting weight of 476. So I have lost 236 pounds. And in 2 more pounds, I will have lost literally half of myself. Like, I will weigh what I have lost. And I am just like, I am so thrilled. And I'm thrilled that I have figured out a way that I'm able to do it. And it's not constant stress. I am telling you, I'm not going to go a whole lot into my story because I know some of you guys know it, but I also know some of you guys don't know it. But I have been overweight for years, like years and years and years. And I was thin in high school. I was a cheerleader. When I got married, at 18, I weighed 136 pounds. But with 4 children, 4 C-sections, gallbladder surgery, appendix, like the old-fashioned gallbladder where they go side to side, and all the stomach surgeries, I just kept gaining weight, and nothing I did worked. When I tell you we have done all the diets, I mean, we have done all the diets. You can literally look back in my Facebook feed through the years. I just got a memory reminder today that I was in the middle of a 40-day water fast. It was like day 3 of a 40-day water fast. We've done water fast, 40 days, at least twice. I think we've done it 3 times that we actually did the whole thing, lots of 21-day water fast. And I would lose 20, 30 pounds on a 40-day water fast, but then I would gain back 15 of that. And it was just, this was my cycle. We have done vegan. I loved vegan. I love the food that you get with vegan except for cheese. I miss cheese when I'm on it. I love that, but never lost weight on it. Actually gained quite a bit of weight every time I went vegan. We've done the carnivore. We've done keto. Keto was the one, carnivore, keto, fasting, intermittent fasting is one I was on for quite a long time. And to be completely fair, from 2020 to 2023, I did release 117 pounds over those 3 years, which is really slow weight going off, but at least it was going down. So it would go down, it would go up, it would go down, it would go up, but I just did this back and forth. But the stress that I was under, continually feeling like I was a failure. If I had a handful of grapes, I'm like, I'm a horrible person, and I'm out of ketosis, and I would just beat myself up constant. I was constantly just so mean to me. And it was hard mentally. No matter what I did, I felt like I was failing. And I tried so hard. And I taught health. I taught all those things. And I still could not get the scale to move. So somewhere back in the middle of 2023, I was really sick. 2020, I was on a ventilator, 3 months, open heart surgery, ICU, like it was bad. I was dying, and it was a struggle. And in 2020, I kind of got to the point where like I don't want to have to fight anymore. If I'm just going to be fat, and fat is just who I am, I'm just going to accept me. This is who I am, and those that don't like me don't have to like me, but I cannot struggle like this. I was doing 500 to maybe 1,000 calories a day, just constantly under that stress. I said, I don't want to do this anymore. I am tired of the battle. I'm tired of the fight. And so I brought back foods. And what I did is I chose to go whole foods. So I didn't go on any particular diet. I just said grapefruit. I like grapefruit. I'm going to eat grapefruit. Watermelon. I like watermelon. I'm going to eat watermelon. Salads. I like salads. I'm going to eat that. Grass-fed beef, eggs, avocados. I just brought back all of the foods, but it had to be a whole food in the closest form that I could find it in nature. Like how close could I get to nature? And I chose to eliminate a few things. The only things I could eat all the carbs I wanted. I could eat a watermelon for dinner if I wanted to. Like I took away all of the rules. I just chose that because I have a couple of gene mutations. One gene mutation I have, a lot of you guys have, 60% of the population have, and it's MHTFR. And that means that it's a long thing that just says your body can't synthesize fake vitamins. I submit to you, if 60% of the population has it, then it's the other 40% that have a mutation that they can absorb artificial vitamins. So specifically it's vitamin B's in this. But since everything that you buy that is packaged, every bread, every pasta, your mac, all of those things are enriched, and the enriched means they added those synthetic vitamins in. So I chose that. I'm just not going to do anything that has those in it. And I'm going to go no processed foods. I'm just going to make it myself. So if I want bread, I just make my own bread. But I make it from specifically, I didn't even bring any over. I make it specifically with ancient grains. So I do the einkorn wheat is my favorite. I actually buy the berries. This is the einkorn wheat berries that I buy. And the berries just kind of look like rice. And I use them in place of rice and barley, like in soups, or if I'm feeling really cravey for a rice dish. I don't do a lot of rice. I cook up, you guys can't even see that. They're just they're little grains. And I just grind them up. Oh, I do have the flour. This is the Young Living einkorn flour. When these are out of stock, I get einkorn flour from other places. Young Livings are my favorite, but I don't bloat from those. I don't feel gassy after I eat those. I don't feel any of the side effects that I feel if I eat a traditional sandwich. So I still eat bread. I still eat biscuits. I still eat cookies. I still eat all of the things. I just make sure that it's made by me, so I know everything that's in there. So we batch cook on Sundays, and I've got a big long video that I will attach in here that tells you the foods that I eat and when I eat them and how I eat them, because I want you to understand what happened in 2023 when I started just bringing back food and I stopped freaking out. If I was hungry 4 times, I ate 4 times. If I wasn't hungry for breakfast, I ate just lunch and dinner. There's still to this day, I don't have a set regimen. This is what I have to do because I think that stress, I am telling you right now, my friends, if you have been in that up, down, the stress that you are going through, trying to be perfect in a very unperfect world, that stress, cortisol, it will kill you. Cortisol will make you gain weight. Cortisol will increase your insulin, which will make you insulin sensitive. It's like this feedback loop. So I took the stress out of it, and I just said, I'm going to eat food in its wholest form, the best, cleanest food that I can, and I'm not going to worry about what I can't do. So like I still go out to eat with my friends, and I don't worry about what is in, like typically when I'm out, I'll get a burger with no bun because that bun is an enriched bun, and I do all kinds of veggies with it. I have my avocado, all my stuff. I don't worry what they sprinkled on my burger. I just eat it, and I enjoy the friendship with my friends, and I enjoy food now. It doesn't have that fear for me anymore, because that fear, cortisol, that's where it comes in. We'll talk a little bit more about cortisol in a minute. But in 2023, when I started seeing, oh man, like I was just feeling better. And I think a lot of it was I wasn't constantly freaking out. I wasn't constantly calling myself bad names, looking at myself and feeling like a failure. I just kind of said, you know what? This is just who I am. I love me. My grandbabies love me. I'm good with it. It's just what it is. But around that same time, I started hearing all about these GLP-1 medications, the shots that people were getting, and these great results. You know, they're losing huge amounts of weight. And I'm like, what? What is up with this? What is this new drug that they are giving to these people? And you know, come on, what is happening here? So I I made a PowerPoint for you guys. So when I'm done this class, I will edit it up for you and I will share the PowerPoint so you guys can share this with your friends. But I wanted to understand what the mechanism was. What is this drug? Because every drug has side effects, and I wanted to understand it. And so in my research, I found some things that absolutely fascinated and excited me. These are the things that are going to give you back your freedom. This is why it's not a willpower thing. I average 2 pounds a week. Now there's some weeks where I lose nothing, and then there's weeks where I'll lose 3 or 4 pounds, but that's what I've been averaging in 2023 alone. 2024 rather. No, this is 2024. In 2023 alone, I lost 104 pounds. Like that's amazing. And this was giving my body what it needed so it could do the thing. So let me tell you this first. So GLP-1 injections, those are things like Mounjaro and Triceptide and semaglutide and Ozempic, all of those, Zepbound, all of those injections, they are a GLP-1 agonist. So if you go to the doctor and you're a man and your testosterone's low and the doctor says, we need to raise your testosterone, I'm going to give you testosterone injections. That is them supplementing you with a hormone. If you go to the doctor and you don't want to get pregnant and they put you on birth control, that is them giving you a medication that is a hormone to stop you from ovulating. That's what that is. If you're progesterone, you're estrogen, and they give you a drug for it, that drug is simply a hormone that goes in and it either stops your body, so it blocks it, or it increases the amount, right? So that's what those are. The GLP-1, these shots, these injections are a hormone. So you know what that means? That means that my body makes GLP-1. It's a hormone. It's a long chain peptide that my body makes. It makes it in my gut. It makes it in a couple different places in my gut. It makes it in my brain. And when it makes it, it controls so many other hormones. So we're just going to discuss some of the hormones. So one of the hormones is leptin and ghrelin. Leptin and ghrelin, like we know those as the hormone, the ones that tell us whether or not we're full or hungry. So like leptin is the one that says, oh, I've had enough, I'm not hungry, I just take a couple bites and I want to go do something. So leptin tells you you're full, and then it gets you to go move. It gets you to get up. Those people that run, they have that energy. They want to go bike riding. They want to go do the thing, and then you have the friend who's sitting on the couch who doesn't want to do anything. That's leptin not giving this signal, because the opposite of leptin is ghrelin. And ghrelin is the one that says, grr, I'm hungry, I gotta eat something, I'm hungry, please give me food, I'm hungry. And chill out, sit down, don't do anything, I just don't have the energy to. That's leptin and ghrelin. They're in control of our hunger centers. That's their job. Now, like I have my second gene mutation is I do not have both of the leptin genes. So I'm missing one of my genes that tells me I'm full. I'm missing the one that says, get up and go do things. So that's not an excuse to stay overweight, but it explains why it was happening and why nothing I could do could fix it, and how we have to hack our body. And since like the MTHFR is 60% of the population, they're finding that leptin being off so my husband is missing the other gene. So I'm missing one, he's missing the other one. My daughter Brianna, she's missing both of them. So I have to believe that lots of us have it. We just don't know that because we don't get those checked, so we have no clue. So as I'm researching this and I'm finding that so those are a couple of the hormones that control it, but your estrogen, your androgens, those also control your hunger centers and your satiety and whether or not you want to eat. Like even if they take your ovaries out, your fat cells continue making estrogen. They just keep doing it. They're like, no, we need more estrogen. I'm just saying. And then things like insulin. Insulin gets such a bad rap nowadays. We're all like, insulin's the bad guy. Insulin's the problem. I need you to know there's nothing that your body makes. There's nothing that your body makes that is bad for you. There's not. Even I'm a Christian. I believe God put all those things in there like they're supposed to be. But even if you're here today and you're like, I don't believe in that Christian thing, then you believe in evolution. There's no way, evolutionarily speaking, we can have stuff in us that our body creates, that it creates, that's bad for us. So even the whole myth of cholesterol, that's a whole nother class. Cholesterol is our friend. Your brain needs it. Every hormone in your body needs it. If my body makes it, it isn't bad. Insulin. Without insulin, you will die. Ask any type 1 diabetic. Without it, you will die. We need insulin, but we need all of the other hormones working in conjunction so we get the right amount of insulin so that we're not constantly dropping more insulin and our cells get tired of hearing it. Think when your kids are going, Mom, Mom, hey, Mom, 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 and it's kind of white noise, and somebody else will hear them and be like, do not hear your kid, and you're like, listen, I've been hearing that kid all day long. It's kind of what your cells, your receptors for insulin are doing, because there's so much of it in our bloodstream, they're resistant to it. But we're going to fix all that. I'm telling you, your body, made brilliantly. Everything works in balances, and it's going to be easy. Are you ready for something to be easy? Who has done 1,000 things? You're trying to lose that weight, and you're just ready for it to be easy. But tell me easy. That's what you want. I want to see the easies popping up. Easy. I'm ready for it to be easy. So insulin is one. Human growth hormone. Y'all, that decreases as we age. It's part of the reason why they say after your 40s it's harder to lose weight. But it doesn't have to decrease. It does not have to decrease. We can keep that going up. We're going to talk about that. And then cortisol. Cortisol is another one that gets a really bad rap. We're like, it's the fat hormone. It's the reason we got the big fat belly. Listen, without cortisol, you're not going to wake up. Cortisol wakes you up in the morning, it lowers throughout the day, and we go to sleep. But it rises and stays high when we are stressed. When that cortisol is high, it's going to increase the insulin. It's a feedback loop. When you start being okay with you and who you are and stop stressing out, you're going to see some things. So some of the stuff we're going to talk about is just going to be about getting that cortisol back in check so that you're not increasing your insulin. Because a lot of times, like we have another one, neuropeptide YY. And this one, like everybody that is obese, because I weigh 240 pounds. I'm still waiting for 230. I weigh 240 pounds, and I'm still considered morbidly obese, like morbidly obese at 240 pounds. And because of that, every person that is overweight typically has dysregulation in the neuropeptide YY. And it's really common because it's kind of in control of some of the other things. But then, my friend, we have GLP-1. GLP-1. So I'm going to ask this again. So is GLP-1 a drug? I want you to answer this. Is it a drug? Because I know most people think, yeah, it's Mounjaro, it's triceptide, it is Zepbound, it is all these medicines. Your GLP-1, glucagon-like peptide, friend, that is a hormone. It is a hormone that my body makes, and when it makes it, it hits that easy button for you. It hits that freedom button. When people are taking the agonists, so they're taking the injections. So I want to explain a little bit. There's lots of side. So if you are taking them and it is working for you and you feel amazing, no judgment. You do you, boo. I want you happy. If you are content, you do you. But if something happens and your insurance changes and you can't get it, or you don't want to spend $2,000 a month on your medicine, or on a compounded $300 a month, and you're not even sure what's in the injection anymore, I'm just saying again, you do you, zero judgment. I knew it's not the route I wanted to go because there are some side effects. The number one side effect that they tell you is thyroid cancer. It could happen. Now, they say it's only if you have a family history of it or you have had it, you are more likely to be able to get thyroid cancer. But that tells me right on the top that means it's probably not super healthy for my thyroid. So I choose not to. I also chose not to because the massive diarrhea and or constipation. People are either one way or the other. They can't seem to get that straight, and the constipation can be really, really bad, and then they just give you a drug for that. The constant nausea, the upset stomach that people get, that is like a normal side effect for the injections. That's for the it's not synthetic, it's GLP-1 agonist. But that's for the injections that they're giving you, or for the pills if you're taking the pills. Those are normal side effects, but so is pancreatitis. Like, that's a problem. Gallbladder issues, intestines that literally stop working. They just bind up. It's one of the things. Ozempic face. So they're losing weight, but their skin is, and their eyes are sagging in, and you can see all this unhealthy stuff happening in their bodies, losing their hair. Like, I don't want to lose my hair. I lost it in 2020 with all the sickness I was going through. I like having my hair. I don't have any bald spots. It's nice, it's thick. I had to do that. So once I found out it was a hormone, I said, how do we hack that hormone? Like, if that's the one that's in charge, if that's the one that makes you feel satisfied, if that's the one that you eat and you're like, oh, I'm good, I don't want any more. If that's the one that slows the bowels so that your body, what happens when you have real GLP-1, your own kicks out, it slows down your emptying so that your body can suck the nutrients out of the food that's there. So it's like, oh, this is really good. I want this. Hang on a second. Let this sit here. Let me suck all the good stuff out. You know how we talk about the straws sucking the nutrients out? Friend, it's inside you. Your gut is supposed to make it. Your brain is supposed to make it. Here's the problem that they tell us is with going natural GLP-1s. If you go natural GLP-1s, they only last for a short time in your system. They're just there for a bit. They're just there. Do you know why? Because that's all it needs. You need a bibbit. There are actually a ton of doctors, natural doctors, that are using the compounded GLP-1s for people and doing it in what they're calling microdoses, because they have found in microdoses that bibbit that your body is supposed to be kicking out helps you to feel all the things. It takes away the aches and the pains. And yes, GLP-1 helps with the pain issue. A GLP-1, your little GLP-1, part of what it does, it works with the neuropeptide Y to do this, it stops addiction. And I am talking addiction, not just food addiction, which is what we're thinking about because we're talking about weight, but we're talking all the addictions. They have found that the GLP-1, that hormone, the neuropeptide Y that's partnering with it when it's increased, it helps with alcohol addiction. It helps with drug addiction. Listen, I am just saying this is big. So I started what can increase my body's natural GLP-1s, what can increase my body's leptin, what can help to balance all of those food hormones like the cortisol. What can I do? Because it's not just those few I mentioned. There's over 50 hormones that are involved in the process of whether or not you want to eat or whether you don't. This is why willpower doesn't work. Willpower alone and saying, I'm just going to go 40 days without eating. You know why it doesn't work? You might be able to push through the 40 days, but your body's going to reset itself and it's going to want to eat at a higher amount and your metabolism is going to go down because there's 50 different hormones that say this is where we need to be. See, your body wants balance and it believes that we are still in a world where we have to dig for food, we have to farm for food, we have to hunt for food, and that we're going to have 6 months out of the year where there's very little food. So it is designed, those 50 different hormones, it's designed for us to get as much food when there's food as we can, and it's going to store it so that when the famine comes, we can live. It's brilliant. We just have to hack it. We just have to tell it there is more than enough, that we are fine, that we are not going through a fast, that we don't live in the desert where we're going to have all this time with no water. No, friend. We live in the middle of a very healthy jungle where we get to pull fruit and food off of the vine 24/7 whenever we want. So we can hack and reset. So I had those probably 6 months while I was researching and just choosing just to eat, where I really reestablished that food was my friend. I really did. I ate, and whenever if I felt like a snack, I had a snack. I reestablished that food was okay, and I took away the guilt with eating. So nobody should feel guilty for eating watermelon. Can I just please? Water, are you kidding? We shouldn't feel guilty over that. We shouldn't feel guilty over eating whole foods. Now, if you're munching down on a bag of chips, I understand feeling a little, but you can make your own chips with your own potatoes with good health. I'm just saying, there's options for everything. So all GLP-1 in your gut or the synthetic ones they are giving you, it will increase satiety, overall satisfaction, and even help addictions. It's going to help with mood, memory, and focus. How many of you need your mood improved? I'm just saying, you need a little memory, a little focus. It's going to help with that. It's going to help with your blood sugar and ready, all your hormones. So the stuff that we're talking about right now, this is teaching your body how how to run its own hormones, how to feel good all the time, because that's what we're supposed to feel. And it's going to give you more energy and more drive. You're going to want to do the things. So what are the foods? First food I got to talk about is olive oil. Olives and olive oil increase your body's natural GLP-1. So just if all you do from this call is you get yourself a good, this is I always get asked, what olive oil do you use? This is the one I use. I will place a link in there for you. It tastes amazing. I love my olive oil. But what you do is 2 tablespoons throughout the day. So I sprinkle it over my food. I put a little bit, like I like hot chocolate in the morning. I know you guys are coffee people, but I use my Pure Protein Complete. Did I not bring it? So I use my chocolate Pure Protein Complete, and I will add a scoop of that and a little bit of water, and I blend that up so it's all liquefied. Then I add my hot water to it, and then I add a little bit of olive oil, just a little dribble of it, and I buzz that up, and that's giving me 25 grams of protein first thing in the morning. Because protein also, the reason the high protein diets seem to work so well for people is because protein is a GLP-1, it makes your body secrete GLP-1s. So increasing your protein is going to help with that as well. It also makes you feel more satisfied. Protein for lots of reasons. We'll talk about that in a minute. But the olive oil, it is 2 tablespoons a day. When I first read that study, because there's multiple studies about it, and that's the reason why the Mediterranean diet works so well, is the olive oil and the olives, okay? That's the reason it works. So give me an olive oil. Now you're going to start your olive oil, but trust me, start slow. I did 2 tablespoons, just boop, boop. I can do this. Just took them literally 2 tablespoons, and I ended up with loose stools for a couple of days. Like it, moved me, cleaned me out. Probably lost weight just because I moved all that out. But I did learn that you have to start slow so your body can absorb that olive oil. So you want to microdose all day long. So I put a little in my hot chocolate. I sprinkle it over whatever I'm eating for breakfast. If we made einkorn protein bars, because I love my protein bars, then on top of it, instead of using butter, not that I'm anti-butter, you can use butter, I put a little bit of olive oil on there, and I dip my breads in my olive oil. Almost every single dressing, because I make my own dressings, I use olive oil as the base. So everything, I'm getting 2 to 4 tablespoons a day of olive oil. I will also tell you something else. I do not count my calories anymore. I did for the longest time, and I was probably around 2 to 2,400 calories a day is what I was averaging. 130 grams of protein and a ton of fiber. I would say 40-ish grams of fiber that I get throughout my day. So I don't do like fiber, except for I do use my ICP daily, and then I do my ICP on occasion. It's not ICP daily anymore. The daily prebiotic fiber that we have, I use this morning and night. But that's only a few grams of fiber, but I eat high fiber foods. I eat lots of veggies. So I just sprinkle my olive oil over it. And the reason my olive oil is so imperative in getting those bibbits is, remember, your body's going to kick out a little GLP-1, a little GLP-1, a little GLP-1. So I want to make sure that every time I eat, I'm kicking out a little GLP-1. Those micro doses are going to help you feel satisfied really, really quick. Other things that increase that are I talk about it all the time, the fruits and veggies, that wide variety, that rainbow of colors. Eating a wide variety. So like my plate of food, half of it is raw fruits and veggies. So I always have salad. I always have some cauliflower so I can just dip it in my dressings. And I've got some tomatoes on there, cucumbers, some zucchini, just a pile. And it's different. It just depends on what's in season and what looked good when I was at the farmer's market. And on those, I drizzle that little bit of olive oil on there. I also sprinkle on, ready? Chia seed and hemp seed. Now I know some of you are going to really quick say, Shannon, you shouldn't eat your chia seed before you have to hydrate it first. And I disagree with that. But if that's what you want to do, you do you. I sprinkle hemp. I have hemp seed. I keep it in my mason jars. I've got my chia seeds, and I just sprinkle those on everything. This is high protein. Both of these are good fiber, but when this expands and it's going through my gut and it's expanding and it's soaking in. It's also taking in any garbage that shouldn't be there. They're also got really good fats in there. So if you feel like you need to hydrate it, I also make a great pudding out of my chia seed. I throw chia seed, flax seed together. I whip them up so that they're a powder, and then I'll add like whipped up blueberries, and I'll pour that in there. And just good things that you can make, because all of those do what? They cause that satiety. I feel full. I feel content. I don't stop eating because, oh, I probably had too much. I stop eating because I don't want any more. Like, I'll go to take a bite and I don't want any more. That was such a new sensation. I had never experienced that. When people are like, take 2 or 3 bites of a dessert, and they're like, no, I'm good. I don't even understand. What do you mean you're good? You eat that because it's there. I could not relate to that. But because all of those tiny things, notice this has all been food. This is all things that you have available to you. I have not told you about any supplements yet. This is food. Although there's some supplements that I'm going to tell you that I like because they do things for me. Another one is berberine. So berberine is, as I tell you, I don't take any supplements. Berberine is a supplement. I will put a link to the one that I like. It also increases satiety. It helps your cells to be more sensitive to insulin. So even though I don't have a whole lot of leptin, the berberine helps partner with that. So I take berberine. For people that are on things like metformin, berberine is a good alternative for that. If you're on metformin, please know this. Metformin lowers your vitamin B12. It just does. It's a side effect of it. And if you're on it and you're happy with it, you do you, but please have your doctor check your vitamin B12 levels to make sure that they're high, because B12 is part of our energy. It's part of what makes us feel good. Well, berberine doesn't lower your B12, but it works on the same mechanism of action. So it's making your cells just way more sensitive to the insulin that your body is supposed to be kicking out. Listen, another thing, the oils that I'm talking about, the chia seed, all those things, they do not stimulate your body to kick out insulin. They don't. Your body does not need any insulin to use all these amazing healthy fats. So that will also slow that excess release that you're going to get if you do happen to do watermelon for dinner, which I have been known to do. Then green tea leaves. You know, we have seen so many studies talking about green tea and why it's so good. Like every magazine in the world has had that on there. But the reason why, the real mechanism of action, is because it stimulates your GLP-1. It stimulates that. It stimulates that whole cycle so that you feel full quicker. That's why drinking your green tea before your meal or with your meal or in the evening, because you get decaffeinated green tea, all of those are going to help with it. It's just going to help your body kick that out. I would also like to point out that our Deep Night Essence has green tea extract that already doesn't have caffeine in there. That's part of why we're able to have that in the nighttime, is because it's already got the that moved. We also have like our sleek tea. Our sleek tea is made with oolong green tea leaves, and it has some great things. It's got the ocotea. It's got so many different parts and pieces that just help us to feel full. And like, I like to make the hot tea, and then I will save those bags and I turn it into iced tea for the next day, because I love my iced tea. I just think that, you got to stay hydrated, just saying. Turmeric, the coumarins that are in turmeric, because we've seen so many research on how it helps with inflammation, part of the mechanism of action. GLP-1s. Do you see how you can layer, how you can bib it throughout your day, all these little things, so that we're going to microdose naturally. So when my husband was diagnosed with low testosterone, which he was, his testosterone was under 200, and of course that's what they want to do immediately. They want to do injections, and we said, let us try some things first. And we went with herbs that would stimulate his body to kick out its own testosterone. That's what we did. He did more physical labor to stimulate more testosterone. So when we went back 6 months later, his testosterone had gone up by over 200 points. That's still actually low. You want it to be much higher. So we microdosed his body to kick out its own, and that's what we're doing with the GLP-1. Instead of getting an injection that's going to make your face sag and give you pancreatitis, and honestly, just the price, the fact that people are capable of spending the price that it is. I mean, again, you do you, boo, but I just want you to know there's alternatives. It has taken willpower out of the picture. I just make sure I'm getting these foods. I make sure I sprinkle cinnamon every morning, whatever I have for breakfast, whether it is my einkorn toast, I have cinnamon on it. If it is, if I'm having oatmeal, which I have occasionally, I'm not a huge oatmeal girl, but I'll put cinnamon on it. I do my einkorn granola, and yogurt is really a favorite with fruit on it. And I just sprinkle my cinnamon right on top of it, because cinnamon, we all know that cinnamon is wonderful for blood sugar, right? It's like one of the things people like, take cinnamon, it's going to help your blood sugar. And there's capsules of cinnamon you can take. You can also buy, food, actual cinnamon, and you can sprinkle it on everything that you eat, because it's going to help balance that blood sugar urge. It's going to help increase your GLP-1s that are happening, and it makes your cells more sensitive to the insulin. So it does all of those things. And that cinnamon, friends, you can put cinnamon in everything. I make the best cinnamon macadamia nut butter that you could ever have. The recipe's on my website, Shannon Hudson Wild. But you can dip your fruit in it. You can just eat it by the spoon, because those macadamias are good, healthy fats. My cinnamon, I actually use in that, I use cinnamon vitality, the essential oil. But I sprinkle some cinnamon in there too, because it also makes it look pretty with all those brown specks. So you have lots of options. And then my einkorn wheat. So this was, when I gave up food to try to lose weight and I went keto, giving up pasta was painful. Giving up bread was painful. I missed them so much, because there's something in wheat, so even healthy wheat, that hits that center in our brain. It's something that makes us feel calm. So wheat in and of itself is not the enemy. It's what they've done to the wheat. It's genetically modified. It has way more chromosomes, and our body can't use it. It's kind of like those synthetic, the enriched foods. They change the molecules. So by switching over to my einkorn everything, I do cookies. These are einkorn cookies that, just so they do have sugar in them. It's cane sugar that's in here. I don't eat them all the time, but when I'm having that craving and I don't feel like baking something, I can have those. It's not enriched flour, so excuse me, I don't have to worry about the weird synthetic vitamins that are in there. And I have them on occasion. I'll have them with one of my chia puddings, so I can dip it. So yummy. Because we should be able to enjoy. Food is supposed to be joyful. When we eat and we're happy with it, our body kicks out dopamine and it kicks out serotonin, and we're like, ah. So that stress was supposed, every time we sat down to enjoy the bounty of food that God gave us, we were supposed to have that release of those good endorphins. We were supposed to have that dopamine that says, oh, do that again. That was the perfect thing. That was the great bite. It was supposed to be there, but it was supposed to also have an off switch. We were supposed to have that leptin that goes, oh yeah, I've had plenty. That GLP-1 that says, yeah, I feel really satisfied right now. Let me eat all this. And when this is gone, I'll let you know when I want more. That was what was supposed to happen. But our cells have been hijacked by all of these high sugar, chemical laden, fake vitamins. And our body is constantly saying, wait, there was nothing in that. I'm still hungry. No, I didn't get any nutrients out of that. Can I? And you cannot supplement away a poor diet. Just start giving your body, you don't have to change everything. If you're like, oh my God, Shannon, this is far too much. Go home and not go home, you're already home, aren't you? You're going to start drinking your water. You're going to start adding olive oil, and maybe choose to eliminate one of the processed foods that you always do. Just one. Make tiny changes, because I don't want to stress you out either. Stress will kill. I don't want that at all. So this is just that other way. Then all of the mint families. So drinking your mint tea, that's going to help as well. Make sure that, that when I have my sleek tea, I put a couple drops of that peppermint vitality. All of those are very satiating. They're very calming. They help with those little micro doses so that we just feel more content. You can use actual tea leaves, mint leaves, just different things. And what are things that block your GLP-1? So these, the little changes you're going to make, trans fats. So trans fats it's in every processed food. There's no such thing as a processed food that you're going to get that doesn't have trans fats, because they don't go rancid quickly. And so it is more cost effective for all of these companies to use the trans fats. And they literally block, it's like a complete block of your GLP-1. Like your body can't kick it out. It's not sensitive to it. Sensitive to olive oil, even a little sensitive to butter and some of the other good healthy fats, even tallow. If you're a keto person and you're like, Shannon, seed oils are bad, you do you, boo. But the reason why tallow and the lard, and because they're real fats that stimulate that GLP-1. I choose olive oil because I know the source. It tastes yummy. It's convenient all the time. I have it in spray bottles. That's what I choose to use. But the trans fats, they're going to block it. So if you can just go through your list and just get done with the trans fats and go, you know what? I'm not going to do anything enriched, and I'm going to skip anything with trans fats. Now, technically, there's a whole lot of other things you should look for, but if you look for those two things, that will make all the other changes, because all of those chemicals, all of those toxins, all of those things that are so bad for you, they're just not in the other foods. Whole foods don't. Grapefruit doesn't have anything bad in it. I'm just going to put it out there. A lack of prebiotics and a lack of fiber. So making sure that you're getting things like kimchi and oh my gosh, what's it called? Sauerkraut all the time. Super simple. I just do it in my mason jars. I have the lid on it so that the air lid so it can do it. And you're literally just putting shredded cabbage in there with a whole bunch of good salt, and you just let it sit and it's going to ferment. And those fermented good things, they are food for your microbiome. They are food for it, and they help to stimulate what? Microdoses of GLP-1. Woo woo. This takes away that desire. So having that little bit of something fermented on your plate every time. You can make your own fermented pickles. You can buy fermented pickles. You can buy fermented sauerkraut. Just don't get the canned stuff because that's actually dead. But like the jar stuff in the refrigerator section, doing things like live cultures with yogurt, doing anything that's alive, your live sourdoughs. What are some of the other things? Just list all the things you can think of. What are you already doing that is fermented, and making sure you're getting a good probiotic. I take our Life 9, and then I already told you I do our ICP. It's not ICP daily. My gosh, it changed a year ago. Our daily prebiotic fiber, because this has those prebiotics, so it's feeding the gut. But having a lack of fiber, that will lower your body's ability to create GLP-1. So the neuropeptide YY is way down in the colon, and it gets activated by that fiber. It's the one that says, oh, we got it. Yes, this is good. And it will kick out that cascade for you. So you need that fiber. So like I said, where do I get my fiber? Well, I get it from the things that I sprinkle on my food. I get it, so my chia and my hemp and all my other seeds and nuts, because all of those have fiber. But also that half of a plate of different raw veggies and cooked veggies. I do eat cooked veggies too. I'm getting the fiber from those things. I'm getting it from my einkorn. I'm getting it from my granola. So I make sure at every meal I'm getting 12 to 15 grams or so of fiber, real fiber, in my food. So I'm ingesting the stuff that slows digestion, that cleans out my colon, that kicks out my GLP-1, that increases my leptin, that lowers my ghrelin. So it's just like a cascade. And again, 90% of what I've said, 98% of what I've said are just tiny food tweaks. I didn't make huge changes at all. And I will share my recipes. I see some people asking for recipes. I actually have a whole bunch. If you go to ShannonHudsonYL.com, Shannon Hudson's my name, YL is my game, Shannon Hudson YL. You can go under recipes, and I have a whole bunch of the different recipes that I do, but I will get better at sharing them more frequently. Now, this one's going to make some of you mad, but don't leave. Just stay, because even if you do all the other changes, you're going to see good things. But something else that's going to block your GLP-1 is alcohol. And that is all alcohol. That is that single glass of wine that you do at nighttime. That is just a beer. Now, I'm not saying you can never have it. You're on a cruise, no alcohol. I am saying know what you're doing. So if you know it's going to lower your GLP-1, which cascades all of those other hormones to tell you I'm full and I'm in control, just be aware. Just be aware that, okay, that's what's going to happen. It is what it is. I'll be fine. And have that glass of wine and enjoy it. I choose not to drink it all. Zero. It is not worth it to me. I feel too good to let something like a glass of wine. And I'm also going to tell you this. When your GLP-1, because remember, GLP-1 neuropeptide Y work on addictions. So your alcohol will hit different as well. So you may not even enjoy or get that buzz that you're used to quite as much. Just saying. But it will slow it down. So for how long? I don't know. I didn't check the study. I just see no alcohol. I said no alcohol. I'm good with that. Antibiotics. Eek. Antibiotics, because they mess with your micro gut biome. They mess with those good guys that we have in there. All the things that are alive, antibiotics mess with it. So know that if you're on antibiotics, I'm not saying don't take your antibiotics. Do not you go home and say, Shannon said never take antibiotics. I didn't say that. I said that go back and rebuild. So if you have to take an antibiotic, make sure you're upping your probiotics. Make sure you're upping your fermented foods. Make sure you're upping that fiber so your body can build it back up so that we get that moving again. So I'm just saying those are the things. And then the next one is stress. Stress automatically, as soon as you are stressed out, your body ups your cortisol. Cortisol, one of its partners is insulin. So it will up the cortisol, it will up the insulin, and you will have those elevated amounts, which is then what shuts off the receptors. So now the cells are no longer resistant to insulin, and you want to stress eat. You know how you want to stress eat? Oh, I'm so hungry, I got stress. That's what's happening. So this is what I want you to do. One of my favorite tools for keeping cortisol the way it's supposed to be, nice and healthy, keeping your cortisol healthy, is our Cortistop. Cortistop is an amazing supplement. I didn't grab everything before I came. There's too many things. But Cortistop, it's just a supplement you take in the morning. And what this does is in the morning, you take this like around lunchtime. In the morning, your cortisol goes up to wake you up. It's like, let's do the things. It's great. And every time you get stressed, you get a little more cortisol, a little more cortisol, a little more cortisol, right? So we want to just keep it healthy. We want to keep the right amount of cortisol. So I take 2 around lunchtime, just two Cortistop. If we've got an event going on and I'm doing 10,000 things and got the grandbabies over and all this stuff, I'll take 2 more around dinner time, because that way I'm making sure that I have a healthy response to the stressors, because stress is going to happen. I just want to have a healthy response to it. The other thing I do is I up my Super B. So your vitamin B, every time you get stressed out, you use up vitamin Bs, right? So I want to make sure I'm replacing those. So if I know I'm getting stressed, but I up my Bs, my response to stress tames down. So that times when you feel like you're just freaking out and your kids spill a glass of milk and you just go crazy. You were like, what did you do? Oh my God. And you're losing your snot. You're like, what is happening? And you can even feel that you are overreacting, but you can't stop. Or you're picking a fight with your husband or a friend and just, I'm telling you, try your vitamin B, because it's just getting you back to zen. And then grab your oils. I think most of you guys put your oils on in the morning and you put your oils on in the evening, and you don't have them with you. You will never see me without oils. I have oils. There's oils over there. There's oils right here. I've got oils over here. I've got oils next to me over here. Like, I am surrounded. I have them because I know that life is going to happen constantly, and I want to be ready for life. So when I'm going through stress seasons, I like to grab things that just help me chill. Things like my Idaho Balsam Fir. It's one that for me, I feel just makes me zen. It just calms me down. Peace and calming. Stress away. It's in the name, right? So have those and have your diffusers going with your oils, in different oils, different rooms, different times of the day. Be more conscientious. Like, what is the oil that you grab when you're stressed out? What is that one oil that you're like, that is the oil I have to have when I am overreacting, when everything's driving me nuts? What's yours? Because like I said, Idaho Balsam Fir, it's not even called Idaho Balsam Fir anymore. Somebody tell me the new name. It has been this for 4 years. I don't think it's new anymore. But those are things that you're going to see happen. So if you know you're in that cycle, then for sure grab yourself some Cortistop and some Super B just to rebuild you up. Keep your little adrenals, keep those healthy, and you're gonna see some cool things happening. So I do want to talk some of the supplements. So you know how I said that wide variety of color? Yes, Idaho Grand Fir. Yes, it is Idaho Grand Fir, not Idaho Balsam Fir. I don't know why I can't own that one, but that's a good one. So that wide variety of fruits and vegetables, getting all those colors, it's because there's all these different polyphenols and all these different vitamins and minerals, and each one has different things, and they all work on my gut and help with that GLP-1 bibbits, right? So one of my standbys, my go-to, is making sure I get my Ninja Red. Right now I'm doing 12 ounces a day because we're in the middle of a 14-day reset. So I'm making sure I'm getting my Ninja Red. But in here I also have, oh my gosh, what do I have in here? I have some turmeric in here. I have our golden turmeric that Young Living has. I've got that in here. I have some lemon juice, fresh squeezed lemons in here because lemon is amazing for what it does for your liver and all the different things. I have some celery juice in here because, again, it cleans out the things. So I just layer in the fruits and vegetables in anything I do. You can do our ninja greens. You can do our multi-greens. Those are all ways to get more of those vegetables, all of those colors in there. And then I, every day without fail, take Master Formula. Master Formula is our one a day. That is our multivitamin that you just take the one time a day. And I'm telling you, it fills so many puzzle pieces so that my body isn't fighting to figure out what pieces it's missing, just in case I missed it that day. So that day maybe I didn't eat enough zinc. There's some zinc in my Master Formula. I don't have to worry about that. Or just any of the different parts and pieces, because it's fruits. In that Master Formula is broccoli and beets and just all the different vegetables. It's a food. I don't even have those over here. It is a food-based, we used to say nutriment. So it's nutrients that are feeding your body. So if you're already taking our Master Formula, give me a whoop whoop, let me know. We also have our new Inner Boost and Balance that you could do. Those are just to fill in those little pieces, because those fruits and vegetables, those polyphenols, they make, oh, you know what else? Our olive essentials. So we talked how important olives are. And actually eating black olives, green olives, all the different kinds of olives, and olive oil. I'm just saying. Then we've got our olive essentials. In this, one capsule of our olive essential is the equivalent of getting 1 liter of hydrotextrosol. It's a good nutrient that your body absolutely loves. It's the equivalent of getting a liter of that from a Ninja Red, from a olive oil. And it's a teeny tiny pill. So I don't know that this has the same effect as the olive oil, because I don't know which piece in the olive oil is doing it, but I take these twice a day. I take one in the morning and I take one either between lunch and dinner or at dinner time. It just depends on which package of supplements I happen to put it in. So that's ones I use. Our cortisol, I already talked about that. Super B, I already talked about that. Other things would be like our sleek tea. I think I even mentioned that already. Our green omega-3s, so important. It's healthy fats. Your brain thrives on them. Remember I said GLP-1s are made in your gut and they're made in your brain. We got to feed our brain. Our new Deep Night Essence, I absolutely love for what it does for the neurotransmitters, for the brain itself. That's part of that deep sleep that you're getting into. I'm just saying they're a great combo. The Amino-Wise, I talk about that one all the time. Amino-Wise is, you know what Amino-Wise is? It's all the amino acids that your body needs. It's those branched chain amino acids that you hear all those people working out and doing all this stuff. That's what's in our Amino-Wise. It's just got a great recovery blend. We have been doing our workout challenge. It's a 30-day workout challenge, movement and motivation that we have going on. If you're not already in the group doing that, tell me you want to be added to the group. We'll get you added to the group, because we still have we're on day 16. So you can jump in now and get 15 days of exercise. And I can tell you, when I first started my weight loss journey, I was in a wheelchair. I was on oxygen. So clearly I wasn't exercising. But I started this, I don't know when I started doing it, but I started doing where I would set my timer to go off for 5 minutes. And in that 5 minutes, I would move to my best of my ability. So in the beginning, it was a lot of hand stuff that I had going on. But then I got up and I started being able to walk around my house. I'd go from the office into the living room, into the kitchen, into the dining room, back out, and I would circle and I would get as many laps as I could. And it has increased now that it's still 5 minutes every hour. But in that hour, I'm able to pop out some burpees. They are modified burpees. I'm able to pop out my wall push-ups. I'm doing jumping jacks. I'm on my, oh my gosh, I'm on my rebounder, which I love. And I'm now up to 16 minutes. 16 minutes that I can do on my rebounder. I was able to walk for, it was like 38 minutes just walking outside. Like, what? Such a change in so many areas of my life. But I want you to know that that big weight loss that happened, that big, the major changes, I wasn't exercising for most of that because I simply couldn't. So like that first 117 pounds, I was doing very, very, very little. And it's just been slowly increasing, and the amount of activity I do now is huge. I swim twice a day, most days unless it's too cold. The walk, I get in my 30 minutes at least walk. I did find out I can do more than 30 minutes, which made me feel amazing. I've been working on a hula hoop. I gotta find some exercises for my stomach. I'm having a hard time doing stomach exercises. Anyways, in all your enzymes are gonna make a play. I can tell you there's some oils that I eat on the regular. So you do you, boo, on whether or not you want to add ingesting the oils. They are all the vitality oils. These are all for eating, for food. I do lemongrass vitality. I do peppermint vitality, cinnamon vitality, fennel vitality, clove vitality, grapefruit vitality, citrus fresh vitality. That one I do like constantly. Endoflex vitality. You guys hear me talk about that one all the time. This one is just spearmint vitality. I am loving the effect of doing my spearmint. I just love it. Frankincense vitality. And then there's some other ones that you can just rub on, breathe, that type of a thing. And that is our Ocotea and the Idaho Grand Fir. And then vanilla. Just having the aroma of vanilla around is supposed to help so that you feel more satisfied in life in general. So that might be one for you. So go through your stash, see what you already have, and go, you know what? I'm going to start doing that. And when I say I ingest, I use a little shot glass. And, well, I also put them, straight in my drinks. But for the most part, when I'm trying to get a lot of them, which I try for 20 to 30 drops of essential oil 4 times a day. So I have it at breakfast, I have it at lunch, I have it at dinner time, and I have them before bed. They are not the same ones that I do all day long. I do different ones throughout there, but these are ones that I choose to ingest. And I will take, say, 5 drops of my grapefruit, 5 drops of my spearmint. I'll do 5 drops of, say, citrus fresh. And then I'll do, fennel. Yeah, 5 drops of fennel. And I'll do that in the morning because it wakes me up. I feel alert. And I stir that around in a glass. I add just a little shot glass, and it's a little too thick that I'm stirring it with. And I add just a little bit of water, and then I sip, swish, and swallow. Sip, swish, and swallow. Sip, swish, and swallow. And they're just ones that make me feel really good. They're ones that I like to do. And I definitely like to rotate them. I like to do different oils throughout the day because they all have different little receptors, different things. And I don't know what my body needs. So I just, use my stuff. And so where do you start? Girl, just commit to being nicer to you. Start with the affirmation that I am more than enough. I am perfect the way that I am. I am good at everything I touch. People are drawn to me. Start saying some amazing things about you. Look in the mirror, look in your own little eyes, and tell yourself the things you wish other people would say to you. You are beautiful. You are perfect. You are amazing. And I know in the beginning, like even right now, I'm looking at myself and I'm a little teary-eyed, right? Because we're not used to saying those things about ourselves. We pick ourselves apart. We are our worst critic. We pick on ourselves more than anybody else ever could. And anything somebody says, even if it was in passing and maybe wasn't even really about you, but you perceived it to be about you, we will play that in our mind over and over and over. And we got to change that story. We got to choose to be happy with us and who we are. So I'm just saying, change that story. Rewrite that, and then start any of the stuff that I said today. You're like, oh, I can do that. Make that change. If you have been living on less than 1,500 calories, 1,600 calories a day, You need to feed your body. Your body needs food for fuel. It goes into a metabolism slowdown and you just have no energy and you just don't want to do anything. And I'll tell you, part of how I overcame the leptin, because leptin is supposed to tell you get up and move. I didn't have enough leptin to tell me I had excess energy. So that 5 minutes every hour, I could wrap my brain around that. I couldn't see myself going on a 30-minute walk. You've lost your mind. I do not have the energy for that. But I can get up for 5 minutes and jog in place. I can get up for 5 minutes and bring my toes up to my hands and touch my toes a little bit. I can, 5 minutes. That's all I need is 5 minutes. So I literally set my phone. That will increase your body's energy stores. It will increase your muscle mass. That on its own, your bones will get some strength in them. And if you think 45 minutes isn't going to do much, understand that that's 16 hours a day. So you're awake for 16 hours. Let's say you skip it for 5 of the hours. So you only do it, let's say 10 hours. That's 50 minutes of intentional exercise that you are moving your body, and that's 50 minutes more than you have done in years. So get up and do the things. And if you're already going out, listen, if you are one of those that you're like, no, I run every morning, I'm fine, but then you sit the rest of the day, you have the same problem we do, because our bodies were meant to move regularly. Nobody should sit for more than an hour without getting up and getting some movement happening. I'm just saying. All right, you guys, I know it was really, really long, and I know you probably have a ton of questions. Post them on the side. I will also share my video that actually talks about the food that I ate and what I did a little more in depth. I will share that with you. And any questions you have, post them here, send them to my Facebook. I will answer all the questions. But if you want to grab any of the products that I mentioned that come from Young Living, because I know like my cookies don't come from Young Living, my so I do make my own pasta real quick, but I also ordered this pasta. It's a clean pasta. And I use this as well. So I do I guess a little processed food, but I read the ingredients and make sure there's no enriched flours. But anyways, ask your questions. I will answer your questions. I promise you. Get back with whoever shared the video with you, because they're going to help you get all your Young Living stuff. They're going to give you a discount coupon so you can get 10% off your order, especially if it's your first time ordering. Anyways, I love you guys. I'm sorry it was so long. There was just a lot of information. I'll chat later. Bye.